Hey everyone, and welcome to Thursday, April 16th. Here are the instructions for today. We're going to be learning about imports and exports today, and it's going to be pretty straightforward for you guys. So, first thing you guys need to do, go ahead and get into your slides for the day. Once again, you'll go to Google Classroom, scroll down to April 16th, exports and imports, and you'll go ahead and click on the instruction slides. Okay, and they'll open up like this. Now, what you guys are going to be doing today, okay, rather than reading or watching a video or something, you have some note slides to go through. So, they're going to look like this. Okay, you guys can kind of see them here. What I suggest you do is you guys go ahead and open this up, and then go ahead and split your screen, okay, like I have here. And I've got my notes page, okay, my student notes that I've been working on all week. Once again, real quick, those are found here in Google Classroom, right down here. Okay, you click open that up, and pull your slides up over here. That way you guys can take the notes you need to as you go. So as we scroll down, let's see here, we'll find our notes for April 16th. Okay, so as you guys can see, there are some pretty straightforward notes that you guys need to take here. Now I'm not going to walk you through that because it does go point by point. Okay, what I am going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. You guys can take those notes on your own time. But I am going to take you guys through the slides. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that together. I'm going to blow them up here, and let's get ready to roll. Imports and exports. This is how nations trade. Okay, so what is trade? All right, what is trade? Well, trade on an international scale, okay, or trade between countries, is when countries or companies buy or sell something that is made in one country to another country. Okay, that's kind of long and convoluted. Basically, trade is when, let's say, I make something and then I sell it to somebody in China, or somebody in China makes something and they sell it to me. Okay, it's acting between countries. It's selling and buying things between different countries, and so therefore that would be international trade. Okay, excuse me. Now, trade between countries is talked about as imports and exports. Okay, so if I'm trading, actually, let me not get ahead of myself. I'm pretty sure we're going to go over these in more detail. Okay, but that's the basics of trade. Basically, we're passing things back and forth, buying and selling with other countries. Okay, we do this all the time in the United States. All right. Imports. An import is when a country or company buys something or brings it into the country. Okay, an import is me bringing something into my country. Okay, so if I bought something in China and I'm having it shipped over to me, that would be an import. Okay, so some examples that we have here in the slides. Okay, the United States imports oil from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia produces a ton of oil, and so oftentimes the United States will buy oil from them and import it into the United States. Okay? Another example, John Deere, the tractor company, okay, the nice green tractors, if you've ever seen those, they import parts of their engines from Mexico. Okay, they'll have a lot of that stuff made in Mexico for those tractors, and then they'll buy that and import it, bring it into the United States. Okay, think in and import, bringing in. Okay, all right. Also, imports allow a country or company to buy something that they may not want or be able to make. Okay, sometimes it's more expensive for us to make something here in the United States, so we have another country make it. It could be something like oil. Okay, Saudi Arabia has a lot more oil than us, so it's easier for them to produce it. Okay, so then we would take that oil from them, we'd buy it from them because it's easier for them to do it. All right. Now, let me get that out of the way. I'll zoom out for just a second. Imports cost money for the country or company doing the importing. Okay, so remember, importing is buying stuff to bring it in. So if I am importing something or the United States is importing something, I have to spend money or the United States has to spend money to do that. They're paying for those imports, okay? So whenever you're importing something, you are paying money for it. All right? All right, I'm going to go open this back up and we'll continue on. Exports. Okay? Exports are, excuse me, woo, that was a little bit of a voice crack. Exports are when a country or company sells something for other countries to buy. Okay, so that's exports would be me or the United States selling things. Okay, things that we make here that we want to sell to other countries. One of the main things that we actually export would be technology or food. We make tons of food in the United States. In fact, we feed about a third of the world, so we're exporting or selling food to other countries all the time. Okay, so what are some examples we have here in the slides? Okay, the United States exports a lot of weapons and technology, particularly to our friends overseas. Okay, we send them lots of our military advancements, whether that be fighter jets or specific types of new weapons, things like that. Okay, lots of technology. We help out other countries, but we'll sell them some of those military advancements that we have. Also, Apple, in case you did not know, is an American company. They export their iPhones or iPads to Europe and Asia. Okay, Apple is an American company, so we make all that stuff and they sell their products all over the world. Okay, so they're exporting those. All right, exporting is like sending out, we're getting rid of it. Exports allow a country or company to make money that they can use to pay off debts, spend on social programs, or spend on imports. Okay, exporting is what makes us money. So if I'm selling things, people are buying things from me and I'm selling them to them. Okay, so the United States is selling iPhones. That means the United States is making money. Okay, whenever you sell something, you make money. All right, and that gives us money to pay off debt, to spend on social programs like healthcare, things like that. Okay, and it also allows us to buy those imports that we were buying previously. Okay, if we need money for oil, well, we have to make that some money somehow. Well, we do that by selling our own things, and then we have money to go buy that oil. Okay, and then let me zoom out for this last point one more time. Exporting makes the country or company money, which we've said plenty now. All right, continuing on. Now, we're almost near the end of the slideshow, so thank you guys for bearing with me. But let's go ahead and take a look at real life exports and imports. Okay, so in order for Ford to sell a car, they must. Okay, so Ford produces cars in the United States. So let's see what they all do to make a car. One, they import door hinges from Canada. Okay, so those hinges on the car door, the thing that hold the car door on when you open it, those come from Canada. The suspension, that's the thing that keeps your car from tipping over and falling apart. Okay, that's the whole part underneath the car. Okay, that comes from Japan. They import sunroofs from Germany. Okay, that window in the ceiling, they import that from Germany. And they import those airbags if you ever get in a crash. Okay, those things that go and stop you from hitting the steering wheel. They get those from Spain. Then, after all that's brought in, they paid for all those things from other countries to make their car. Then they can export that car to Australia or China. Okay, they can export that truck, that F-150. So only, if you guys notice, they only make money at step 5. So actually exporting can be very expensive. It can cost a lot of money to get all those parts than to just sell them off to someone else. Okay, so it's a long process and it all works together here. All right, let's keep going. Now, you guys are going to do a little bit of a quiz. Okay, you're going to read through each of these situations. Let me move myself out of the way here. Let's see where's a good spot. Right there. Okay, you're going to read through each of these situations and decide whether it's an example of an import, bringing something in, or an export. Okay, so a Spanish flag maker uses wool from France. Let me read that one more time. A Spanish flag maker uses wool from France. Why don't you go ahead and pause video for about 30 seconds and write down if you think it's an import or an export. A Chinese car manufacturer, moving on to number 2. A Chinese car manufacturer sells the cars in North Korea. Import or export? Number 3. A Japanese anime studio sells merchandise in the United States. Is that an import or an export? Number 4. A Canadian logger uses trucks made in the United States. Import or export? An American car company builds their cars in factories in Mexico. Is that an import or an export? Okay, now I want you guys, I'm going to give you a little hint here. when you're thinking about this, you're going to want to start, okay? I'll back up real quick. Okay, you want to start at the beginning. Okay, so I'll go ahead and help you guys with the first one. A Spanish flag maker uses wool from France. So because it starts with a Spanish flag maker, okay, we're going to be talking about Spain. That's the country whose perspective we're going to take here. Okay, so is Spain importing or exporting that wool? Well, if they're using that wool and it's coming from France, probably means that Spain is buying that wool from France, which means it would be an import. Okay? All right. Now, the next slide lets you guys go over some of those answers if you want to go ahead and look at your answers. I'm going to go ahead and skip over that real quick, go on to the next one. All right, the video should be posted here when you guys are looking at this. But that is all for today. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. As always, please reach out to me with any questions or concerns you have. You can send me an email or text me on Remind. Otherwise, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.